Good morning and welcome to the Small Business Town Hall. I'm so glad that you're taking the time to join us today and learn about what we have available for the small business community here in the state of Rhode Island. What are the new support that we have from the federal government coming to the small business? What is the Commerce Department doing? So we have a day today with a lot of good information, and we also have a special guest. We have from the town of North Providence, Mayor Charlie Lombardi, who's going to tell us about what is happening for the small business community in North Providence. If you're thinking about opening a business in North Providence, how you go about it. So this is great information that we're going to have for you today. But first of all, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. And I want to take this opportunity to remind all of you that we have resources available for the small business community. Just this morning, we had conversations in our Small Business Advocacy Council about the work that Skills for Rhode Island Future is doing, a new program, the Small Business Hub. If you're looking for support up to $10,000 that can help you, it could be if you need legal services, if you need a financial plan, if you need to get a marketing plan, a website, any resources that you need, technical assistance, you can apply it up to $10,000. And I know that between Johanna and Ben, we're going to be putting the links available for you to get access to that. And we're also going to add it to the chat option to make sure that it stays with the recording. But let's go now to Director Mark Hayward and hear about what is happening from the SBA. What are the latest things that you should know about from the SBA? Director?
Good morning, Governor. It's good to see you again. I think we're following each other around today. Great meeting at the Small Business Advocacy Council. It really is a tremendous amount of information that gets out to the public. And over the last month, as you know, we had Small Business Week. We had a tremendous amount of great winners here in the state of Rhode Island. I'm very proud that we had two regional winners. One of them was the Wright's Dairy Farm. The women-owned business, they won both Rhode Island as well as New England. And then we had the manufacturer, which is Luby, which produces all kinds of goods out of the city of Warwick. They won both Rhode Island small manufacturing as well as New England. So, but even Craig Pical, who was our Small Business Person of the Year. I mean, it's just amazing, the great talent we have. And I'm really glad that Charlie Lombardi is on today. Charlie is clearly a business person who understands, who signs the bottom of those checks. You're absolutely right. If you're going to start a business, North Providence is clearly one of those areas you want to look at, because Mayor Lombardi is a business person who understands what requires in order to be a successful business person. So we've done a lot with Mayor Lombardi, and we will continue to do so. But as we look at a couple of things that did happen, and I know Secretary Tanner is on, I'm very pleased that World Trade Day at Bryant University went absolutely phenomenal. There was 170 people who were looking to do additional business outside of the territorial United States. I think the Trade Center, the Chafee Trade Center for International Business has really come back. And we've been working very diligently with Secretary Tanner, with President Gattel, with Ed Talabi at Bryant University. And I really do think that there's going to be so much happening in the next few months. As you well know, Governor, there is a trip to the Dominican Republic. There's a trade mission to the Dominican Republic. It's one of the, I don't think people realize how much trade is actually going on between Rhode Island and the Dominican Republic today. And I think when we get that information out, we certainly, the Chafee Center has put out the invitation if anybody wants to go. They have step funds that will defray some of the costs to go on the trade mission to the Dominican Republic. We're hoping that you will join us as we go down and promote Rhode Island and the Dominican Republic. I think you might be familiar with that place, but I'm not really sure.
Just a little.
Just a little. But no, there's so many great things happening. As you know, Governor, we're going to also go to Block Island. We traditionally do that in June of every year to reach out to the community 52 people have signed up to go to Block Island this year. And I'm really pleased that a lot of state agencies are sending people. That way we can get the message out. But we also have, I mentioned to you this morning, we have 7 banks that are going. And we've recently financed some very large scale projects, meaning the bank and SBA on Block Island. And we're going to take you, the regional administrator and Secretary Amore, to meet with the ownership as they can. Hopefully the renovations will be complete or somewhat complete by the time we get there. But lending continues to trend up, Governor. It's been very good throughout the springtime, and we're hoping that the summer will continue that as we go into the end of the fiscal year, which is September 30.
Thank you, Director. And I forgot to mention this morning that just like we do the trip to Block Island with resources for the small business community, we kind of borrowed your idea. We went to Block Island about a month or so ago.
Great.
With a group of social services. So we have different departments from elderly affairs, DHS, and also the senator and the rep, DeMario and Spears join us. And we were able to bring resources to Block Island. So
that's fabulous. It really is.
Wow.
It's always a pleasure, Governor.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Looking forward to connecting with you to Block Island, to that trip this year, and bring those resources to the island. So
Great.
Thank you, Director. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Next, we're going to hear from the Secretary of Commerce, Secretary Tanner, who's going to give us an update about things that are happening through the Department of Commerce. So, Secretary Tanner, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Of course, always a pleasure to see you, Lieutenant Governor. And, one of the things I'm excited about, with Mark said, is the SBA Day down in Block Island. I was actually just there yesterday for a different event, and they are very excited to have us there. They know that it's always a great day for businesses to share their information, for us to have conversations with them. So that's always a great event. And yes,
you have been there like every week in the last couple weeks, right?
Yes, the Dramamine works. A little sluggish this morning, that's for sure. But I will say that, those businesses are just so incredible, and they're really looking to expand their shoulder season and do so many things. Yeah. And also, of course, very excited about the Dominican Republic Trade Mission. It's going to be a really fantastic event, so we're looking forward to that. I had one particular program I wanted to bring up, and I'm going to be shouting it from the rooftops. So we have what's called the Technical Assistance Program, and it is an opportunity for businesses to be able to be reimbursed for dollars to help them come out of the pandemic in a bigger, better, stronger way. And I mean that as in, we define technical assistance as things like lawyers and accountants and bookkeeping and HR and payroll and marketing and website development and translation services and, and all of those things. And it's very unusual to have dollars for this kind of work, right? But it is super critical for you to convert yourself from a sole proprietorship to an LLC, or to have some succession planning done if you're thinking about selling or closing your business, to have your books really in good shape so that you can qualify for a loan. All of these things need to be done. And, business owners are very often so heavily invested in working. Wouldn't it be nice if it was 95, right? It's usually 60, 80, 120 hour weeks for a small business owner. And so we want to be able to provide dollars to them to do this other kind of work that they might not be the expert in. One of the things, I'm an attorney, right? And so I used to say to people all the time, I'm the attorney. You're the one who's creative, right? You're the one who's have a restaurant, or you're a manufacturer, you sell whatever it is you sell. And you're working so hard to make that business achieve, but you've got to rely on partners to help you do all that other work that has to happen. And again, whether it's the lawyers, accountants, or HR or marketing, there's lots of other people out there. And so this program is particularly critical. You can come to the Commerce Corporation and we can provide you with the information. Our partners at Skills for Rhode Island's Future are facilitating that project for us. One of the things that's super exciting is because it's the federal dollars that are part of this program, businesses have been able to receive up to $10,000. We had put in a request to up that amount and to make more businesses available for that. So just Friday, we learned that the legislature will likely, because it's not finalized yet, but they will likely be able to work with us on that. And so before, the minimum threshold was $1 million businesses, it would be going up to $2 million businesses, right? So that's a whole chunk of businesses, particularly in the hospitality sector, where they might earn $1 million, but they don't take home $1 million by any means, right? And so we really want to try to get more and more businesses to qualify. So it would be businesses under $2 million, and it would also be up to $30,000. So for those businesses who already got the 10,000, they're going to now be able to get another 20 or 30,000 to be able to fill that space to get up to the 20 or 30,000 mark. So a lot of businesses who are already unavailable or who have already taken advantage of the dollars, they would be able to dip back into this. So when that's finalized, we will make sure we get that information to you, and we can push it out to all of your viewers, as well as anybody that's at your SBAC meetings or anything else like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really super impactful program that really is a game changer for so many businesses. So we want to make sure we get the word out to them, because that's a lot of money. They could certainly do a lot with that.
This is so great, and I'm so glad that you're providing this type of resources. I'm going to put a plug for some of the small businesses out there, especially the micro businesses. Sometimes we're thinking that our kids want to take over our business. We're just taking it for granted. We're not planning for it. This is such a great opportunity for you to create a succession plan for your business. Is it going to be your children that are going to take it over? Or do you think maybe employees are going to take it over? Maybe your kids don't want to continue the business that you started. This is such a great opportunity for you to tap into those resources and create a succession plan for your business. Another area that you want to put another plug is for an HR plan. What you need to know to make sure that you're following the HR rules. If you're trying to figure out whether paying bonuses, what is the tax implications that you're going to have with that, there may be some benefits of doing that. So you may want to speak with your tax attorney to make sure that you have a plan. This is such a great opportunity, and I hope all of you are able to tap into these resources, take advantage of these resources, because we have never seen that type of support for the small business community.
Those are all really good examples, Lieutenant Governor. I just like to say there's never been a better time to be a business in Rhode Island, because there's so many resources and programs available. So please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out to the Commerce Corporation. Let us know where you're at with your business, what your needs are, and we're going to do whatever we can and provide you with the information that you need. So please don't hesitate to ask. And I'm hoping that Ben will put on the Commerce information at the bottom of the screen, and feel free to reach out to us.
Yes, thank you. So Ben, if you can put that on the screen, and also Johanna, if you can add it to the comment section so it stays there after with the recording, that would be great. So Director, thank you so much. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, we have the trade mission to the Dominican Republic, but we know there are other requests to do trade missions to other countries, right?
We've had quite a few requests, yes.
Yes. So I know there has been other requests. I ran into Senator Raptakis. He wants a trade mission to Greece. So there's going to be some other opportunities. There's one for Ireland coming up. So you're going to see more activities with other nations also happening. So
that'd be great. Israel as well. That seems to be a common.
Well, Israel, yeah. Israel's one that we've been trying to get going for quite some time. Can't wait to go to that one. So
let's just start packing our bags right now. We'll make our way around the globe.
Right. And we're going to bring new businesses to Rhode Island, and we're going to find new places in which Rhode Island businesses can export their services to also. Right? All right. Thank you, Director. Thank you so much, Secretary. Thank you, Secretary, for joining us. Thanks. So now we're going to hear from Mayor Lombardi. We're going to know what is the town of North Providence offerings if you want to open a business, and how we go about it. So Mayor, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. So glad to be here with you and hearing about what North Providence provides for the small business community. Mayor?
Well, thank you very much for the invitation. I want to personally thank everyone for what you do. I'm happy to be a partner of everyone that's on the call today. So I think we're known as a community that's very, very business friendly. We do whatever we have to make it happen. Our problem is that we're 99% developed. So we don't have a land mass where we can attract big business. So we have to continually do more with less. We just got a project going on Middle Spring Avenue where we got a Chipotle's that came in, a Starbucks is coming, Five Guys is coming, but we had to abandon 2 roads, 2 streets to put that together. So we had to make sure that we visited with the neighbors, assured them there would be no interruption in that neighborhood. We could continually provide them with the public safety services that, you know, that we provide here, so to say. But again, like I said, we'll do what we have to. Our building inspector's office, our zoning department, our planning department. We want to make sure, and I think the word's out there that it will be as easy as possible for you to come to our town and open a small business. As you know, um, this is basically easy for me. I come from a 76-year-old business that's enjoying 76 years of success this year. I go there every morning at 5:30. It keeps me focused. I know what needs to be done, and I know how hard it is for any small business person, whether it be a singular person or a family business, what it takes to be successful. I mean, we employ approximately 35 to 40 people. But again, it's helped me bring business here and relate to what it takes to survive, so to say, or more importantly, to be successful. Again, I wish we had a little more property. We have the least amount of open space per capita left in the state of Rhode Island. So, but we've been okay up to this point, to make sure that our taxpayers are being taken care of. And, hopefully the businesses continue to come to alleviate and help with the tax base. But I'm proud to tell you the last 9 years, there was no tax increase there. So
Amazing.
now we're getting there. But again, how long does it last? I really don't know. We'll continue to do what we're doing, for the success of business here, Governor.
Thank you, Mayor. When I drive through the town, there's not a lot of open storefront available right now. So you have so many businesses there. If there's someone that wants to open a business, there's any opening, where who they should contact in your team, where they should go first?
Yes. So if somebody want to choose to come to our town, they can, come into our planning office. And also, by the way, I like to be involved in it because I want to make sure that it happens. And I want to make sure that there is no obstructions for anyone to come here. But our planning office would be the first stop. And our building inspector in that division know that we better not get any calls of that someone's being how can I say restricted in any way, or be given a hard time. We're not going to do that. We need the businesses, especially the small businesses in our town, to survive. That's our salvation, by the way.
Yeah. Yes. No, thank you. Thank you so much. This is very helpful. I'm going to ask Ben and also Johanna to provide the links to your website with the planning department context. Okay, Ben already added in here. So that way they can reach out anyone that wants to open a business in the town of North Providence. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mayor, for your time. And thank you for giving us this information and to let people know that the town of North Providence is open for business. We appreciate your work. You have been working really hard. The town is a great place to live. I have some relatives there that really love that they're able to live in your town. So good job. Congratulations.
And thank you and for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So now we're going to hear from the Director Dwyer. It's from the Business Regulations, and she just got appointed permanent director. I want to say congratulations and want to hear from her what are the latest things we should know from the Department of Business Regulation for all of you that are watching today. Director?
Yes, thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor, and thank you for having me. Most small businesses interact with our department through licensing. And we're doing everything we can to make that licensing easier and more efficient for the small businesses, make sure they can get their license and go ahead with all the other great stuff you're talking about to start a successful business. So we're working on a state regulatory platform suite to allow us to add licenses pretty easily when the legislature tells us to do so. We are not the people who decide who gets licensed. We are the people who implement that. So the example was last year, the legislature had short-term rentals. They wanted a registration process and the ability to view a list of those rentals by city. We were able to leverage our current technology and add on to that. And we successfully got that registration going at a low cost. I believe it's $25 every 2 years, and get the people on in conformance with the statute. We have about 4,000 registered. These are people who are going to, if you're going to have a short-term, less than 30-day rental on a platform, so any internet platform. As far as enforcement goes, the statute does contain enforcement, filings, fines per day. What we're trying to do is get the businesses into compliance. We have not fined anyone yet. And what we do first, before we do anything like that, is we contact you, we ask you, why you're not compliant. A lot of times people are confused. Short-term rentals sometimes have to register 3 different places. You have to pay taxes, that's tax administration, now DVR, and the municipality. At least 2, because it's DVR and taxation. So we're going to be doing that. If people have complaints, we'll be following up with that. We did not get funding for an investigator to go out and investigate, but any information that comes to us, we'll be following up on that. We're trying to also position ourselves so if in the future the legislature has another thing they want us to do, we can do it in a timely manner. Licensing can be very hard, both to the agency and the registrants, the small business, if you don't make it on a interactive platform that can process it quickly. So we are working to upgrade the platform we currently use for some of our local licenses and make sure that that not only is efficient for the existing licenses, but is efficient for future licenses.
Right.
We're also streamlining the Contractors Registration Board enforcement actions. I know there's a lot of small contractors out there, carpenters and other people who are sole proprietors or very small shops. Sometimes dealing with enforcement is confusing. We are trying to reach out to people when we get complaints and focus on those contractors that have really harmed consumers in our enforcement actions, while helping the other guys who might not be quite in compliance because their card has the wrong information or something like that, giving them the information on how to become compliant rather than taking action against them. And then finally, while it's not directly related to small businesses, a lot of people are curious about cannabis. We have been regulating cannabis along with the Department of Health for a couple of years now. And the legislature last year created a Cannabis Control Commission. That commission has been appointed. And I believe, I know the advice and consent in the Senate is this week. I don't remember whether it's Tuesday or Thursday. So we'll be working with that new commission to transition what we've been doing and hopefully have very little adverse effect on any business involved with that.
Director, one of the things that you mentioned earlier is that DVR doesn't regulate every business.
We do not. Everyone thinks we do.
Where can we go to find a list of the businesses that you do regulate?
So it's on our website. We're actually changing our stationery to exactly list every business at the bottom because there's so much confusion. We also, with the help of the Small Business Ombudsman, who actually works in our agency, we're training the people who answer the phone to understand what other businesses are regulated. There are a lot of businesses that no agency regulates. So the people that answer the phone here are often telling people, no, nobody in the state regulates that. Certainly you have to comply with the Secretary of State requirements and taxation requirements, but there's no licensing requirements. So we both try to put it on our website and have the people here knowledgeable about who does it, so that the touches with the consumer or the small business are much more limited. The worst thing in the world is, no, we don't do it. I don't know. You better go look at this agency, and you call that one and they don't do it. So we spend a lot of time trying to make sure our people know what other agencies do so we can get the consumer the right information.
No, that's great. That's good for that information. So I just noticed that Ben already put the link of the information, and also we have it available in the chat. Thank you for providing this information. I just checking really quick, Ben, to see if we have any comments, any questions. Actually, I see Tina. Tina has a good feedback, and we were talking earlier about the resources available for the small business, the one that Secretary Tanner was talking about. In another way, how they can use those funds is to create an ADA plan to make sure that you have your business being in compliance with ADA. So thank you, Tina, for always being a strong advocate and reminding us. So thank you, Director, for joining us today. Thanks for that information. Looking forward to seeing you next time. And again, congratulations.
So much, Governor. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, I just want to thank all of you that joined us today. It has been a great information that we had for you. Remember to apply for those fundings available right now through Skills for Rhode Island Future. Be sure that you take advantage of this opportunity to have a technical assistance plan for your business. This is the time when you can have a finance plan. You can update your website. If you need a database, if you need anything technical assistance, this is the opportunity. We haven't had this opportunity to have that type of funding available in quite some time. So make sure that you apply. And as Tina's reminding us, you may need a plan to make your business ADA compliance. That's also another way how you can use these resources. But also have to remind the small business community and those of you that have been working really hard to build your business, you have to work on creating a succession plan. This is such a great opportunity for you to be able to hire the support that you need to create a marketing plan, to create a business plan that takes into account the succession. If you are planning on transferring the business over to your children, or if your employees may want to take it over, what is the plan? Sometimes we have seen that there are individuals who have worked really hard to build a business, and they just assume that their kids want to take it over, and no one wants to follow on that. So this is a good opportunity for you to think about what is going to be the future of your business and create a plan for that. So I have to continue to put a plug for that. So thanks all of you that joined us today. It's been a pleasure to be able to share this information with you, and make sure to tune in again for the next time when we get together here. Thank you all.